Good morning, viewers, and welcome again to another episode of In Our Community. I'm your host, Jim Ducey, and we're talking again today with Phillip Domantay, the owner and operator of King Phillip Independent Living facility in San Jose. In our last conversation, we talked mostly about how residents get referred to the independent living facility from social service agencies, from mental health facilities, and from law enforcement agencies. Today, we'd like to talk more about Phillip's interaction with the residents themselves. So that's going to be the main topic of our conversation. I did want to clear up a couple of things from our last conversations. We had mentioned NAMI, N-A-M-I, as a referral source for residents coming to the facility. And I'd like you to explain a little bit more what NAMI is and how they end up as a referral source for you. I'm sorry. Good morning, Phillip. It's good to see you.
Good morning. Yes, good morning. And I'm very happy we're doing this again. I've been told, Mark, we're very lucky because you are having this another conversation with us to share what we do here at King Phillip Independent Living. And I would like our viewers to know how good it is. And we're fortunate to take care of this individual. So thank you again for having me.
Pleasure.
Yeah, so
tell us a little bit about NAMI.
Yeah, NAMI. What does NAMI stand for? N-A-M-I, National Alliance for Mental Illness. And it's a nonprofit organization, and it's a whole group in the whole United States. And they have different offices in different states, different county, or even city, who are suffering mental illness. So they are the one that three main things that they are doing for. One is to intervene early. Secondly, we have they help to improve the care of the individuals, and also they divert the individuals from justice. What does that mean, divert from individuals for justice? They cannot be just, if they do something differently in terms of their behavior, because it's out of their control. You know, there's something different assessment for them, so they're not going to be handcuffed. So they have to get treatment first instead of taking them to a custody. So those are the one that they're three mainly they're looking at. So it's totally different with this individual.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. In our first conversation a couple of months ago, you had mentioned that you don't need a license to operate an independent living facility in San Jose, but you do have up to 16 people, residents, who can be living in your house, and they're unrelated people. Does this operate as like an apartment, or how is it zoned? How is it that you work with the city?
So the only one of the permits that you get, there are two kinds of fictitious from the county, and for the city is the business tax certificate to operate the business. So in the beginning, I was asking them, hey guys, I'm starting to have this business. What kind of regulations do you have? What are your requirements? And then when I shared to them, what are your services for? Who are your clients? And then they said, oh, you just only need this business tax certificate because you're non-licensed. All you have to do is just like consider the zoning in your area. So different zip codes, different location, there are certain numbers of people only who can live in that house. So, but if you're beyond that number, come back to us and apply for what they call reasonable accommodation. And what they require is a sketch plan of your house, the size of the room, bring it to the building, they call the building code enforcement in the city, and they will review your application. They will come here and look at your room, the size of the house, and they will be the one to determine, like, Phillip, you can only put 3 people in this room. This master bedroom, you can only get 4 or 3. So they are the one to make that determination.
Okay.
Same thing is like.
So now, how about the referral agencies like social services agencies? Do they come out and look at the facility, or do they, once they've seen it and they know that you're complying with the city regulations, then everything is fine?
That that's true. So initial process is that they call us, and
Oh, right.
yeah, they call us, and some of them they already visited our website and they already know what we're doing, have a little idea
Right.
what we're doing. They call us and schedule an appointment, because second step of the process is we would like to see the client
Sure.
ourselves to interview, and then we would like our client also to experience the house to see if this is the right place for you. So get to know that with them, with the clients and the staff, and then from there the agency will have some questions about how we've been operating, what services you have, what can't you accept to this kind of housing, and then from there, once we all met in the middle where the client is fit for the facility or for the house, and then we'll proceed with the next step, which is move-in process. So
Okay.
they will come and visit it.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. So now the last time we had talked about the environment. So you provide for your residents, a place to live, and you provide
Mhm.
meals. And also you have daily activities and you have celebrations like for birthdays and holidays and things. So I'd like to talk in today's episode about the one-on-one interactions with the residents. So now everyone who is a resident there has some mental or behavioral challenge they're dealing with. How is it that you interact with them? You're going to run into a range of behavioral challenges, things that people act out and such. How is it that you work with people?
Jim, that is very good question, and it brings a lot of factors and elements in terms of the daily operations itself. It's not only about the meals and not only about the daily activities or anything else. It's the major thing in there is that you're asking for is the behavioral challenges that we deal every day. And it's something like even just a little thing, you'll be surprised, like, oh, just a little thing, but it make a big deal, right? So there are a lot of them, such as argument with each other. And when you come up with the solution and try to find out what's the cause of it, and sometimes it's all about the channel on the TV,
Mhm.
or somebody's like sitting on the other side of the couch, which is the other person like to sit on the other couch,
Um,
and another thing is the roommates issue, because they share a room. Some of them, they read paper or book before they go to bed with the lights on, and the other roommate doesn't support that, or someone's watching TV at 12 o'clock, but the other guy, they should be always, we should be all sleeping at 10 o'clock, that kind of thing. So a lot of factors that you see there, and during mealtime also. So it is, no matter what that you encounter with every day, we have to be prepared. We have to be know how to dig this problems. Where is it coming from? How do you solve it? So we have to have a set of problem solving strategies with different um, behaviors that you deal with. And the most important there is that person itself, to make sure that at the end of that conversation or solution, we have to satisfy them, and hopefully it's not going to happen again.
so
So
really what you're doing is conflict resolution a lot of times. So now why something becomes a big issue for someone may just have to do with their coping mechanisms. But I
mhm,
mean, put any 16 people together in a room and you're going to have personality conflicts. So if people are living with each other day after day after day, of course you're going to
mhm.
have those kinds of things. But you have a certain way of dealing with these. You've told everyone at the beginning, if we have a problem, we're going to sit down and talk about it. And we're going to figure out what's wrong and how we can work with it.
Right.
So
Yes.
tell us what some of those. So can the things that bring up these conflicts, can they be environment related? Can they be something about their medications? Doesn't really matter the cause. You still have to get down to the bottom and make sure they feel like you're listening to them and you're working with the problem. So tell us how an interaction like that might work.
Yeah, so that's part of the problem solving. We have to know
Mhm.
what are the cause for it. It's number one is always the personality conflict from each other. So that's include the environment, um, medications. So some of them may not be compliant with the medication because they're not, they forget. And this individual who live here, they manage their own medication and they forget, or sometimes they just refuse to take their medications. you know Communications also. So that another factor that you know you see there. Sometimes because of their different language and different other person, they misunderstood to each other and they may think that the person is talking about that person. um, Physical factors such as somebody who's in pain, and if you're in pain and your personality change,
Oh, for sure.
just a little say good morning to that person, how you doing, and sometimes they don't respond pretty good because that pain itself. So those are few factors that contribute to those. So you are you are ready to know that first, and not only that, because you understand where's it coming from, you have to understand that part, and also you have to help the other resident and staff to understand that part also. So just if I know that the person having an issue with that pain, and then when you ask a simple question and he yell at you, so we're not going to stop in there. I will have to share it with the roommates, the staff, and give them warning and say, when you start talking to that person, and that because with a certain condition, I want you guys to understand instead of responding in the different manner where it can cause a problem. So we can eliminate from there because you're already giving them idea how to avoid that. So
Mhm.
so those are the initial factors that we have to get in first to avoid it. We try to avoid it before that happens. If something happens, then what's another problem solving strategy that we can offer for them?
Okay. So now that brings up an important point, is that as you get to know their personalities and you know what their normal day-to-day, even keel kind of mood is, you can recognize when things are starting to go off track. And
Yeah.
then you learn how to deal with different people in different ways. So what kinds of things do you look at to recognize things? They're not eating well, they're not sleeping well. As you say, they can be real snappy or have a mood swing or something. So you recognize these things and try to bring them back before things go wrong.
Yeah, thanks, Jim, for bringing that up too, for getting to that deeper part of that portion. If you are well trained and know your strategy for this one, you should be able to assess also the person without even, because they will not gonna come to you. Your ears and your eyes and your brain for evaluation will tell you what is going on with a person. And it's not just because you observe or they come to you. um the most important role that you have as an owner or operator is to be spending time with them, because the most important time that you spend with them, you will learn about their personality, you will learn about the baseline, so you can base from there. And if there's something going on or change with that person, you can detect that right away. So this person is very calm every time I go there and have a conversation with a person, but after a few days there's something changed, he's not talking or yelling. So for you, oh, this is not your baseline. So there's something going on. Now, next step, let's figure out what's going on with that person. So I can give you one example. If because these individuals are going out, they're independent. They have access going anywhere to the public. And what's happening there? They can have potentially be dealing with individuals who are using drugs, alcohol, or any drug, or any kind of crimes, right? And they come home, they may bring a piece of those things, you know. So I can tell, by looking at their eyes. Their eyes dilated. It's because they are intoxicated. You can tell already if they are intoxicated with alcohol, right? So that drugs itself, you can tell, and the way they move, the way they talk is totally different, and it's
So what
time
do
for
you
you
do
to.
about these kind of violations of the house rules? I mean, do you give them warnings or do you talk with a social worker, their caseworker? How do you deal with that kind of a situation where somebody is just not complying with the rules?
Right. So these individuals already know that they have violated the rules already. Oh my God, I drank outside, I intoxicated, or I used this drug. They know when they come back, I'm gonna deal with Phil because he knows what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So first step we're gonna do, we have a little chat with that person in a calm way, because those are individual intoxicated already. If you don't manage it properly too, it can lead to uh, you know it could be abusive manner, right? They get mad. So we have to get that in a very professional and calm manner. Next step, you have to let the social worker know this is what I observe, and then they will come in as well. They can bring another social worker with them or their supervisor. So they're gonna have that conversation with the person, and they will let me know, yeah, Philip, it's confirmed. This is intoxicated, or this person is using this, right? So we work together, and then we'll the plan, it could be, can we remove you from the house right now because of your behavior? It depends on how this person reacts.
How
If
serious
you
it is
become
and how
aggressive,
frequent it becomes.
right, and how frequent it becomes. Now we don't feel that you're safe in the house. um i don't I don't think that you are fit at this moment, so they may have to take that person somewhere else for detoxification. So from that process, and then we will have another meeting with the client and review what happened in the past, and let's go back to the house rule. Hey, this is what happened. Remember that five few days ago. Now it's time to talk about it again because you are already clean. So we reviewed it again. Now it's our decision. Can I give you a chance, or can we just proceed because this is the second time, the third time? We're not going to do it again, unless the client would say, Philip, this is my final time. I don't want to leave here. I promise I'm not going to leave again. We always give the chance for that individuals.
Of course, of course. All right. So uh, your degree, your college degree is in restaurant and hotel management, and it sounds like you've become a psychologist over the years of working
Amateur
in an
psychologist.
independent. What's that?
We all like amateur psychologists, right?
Well, that's true, but this is a very big part of your job. What other staff do you have there that works at the house?
So we have, because we're very limited in terms of what kind of service we provide.
Sure.
So it's main one is the meals only. So we have cooks, two of them, and mostly I help them as well if I'm in the house, and we do a little activities for everybody. So it's just a actual total of three of us.
Three
So
people.
it's
So
yeah,
you are the main operator, and you're the one who really deals with all of the personal issues because that's your responsibility.
that's
And
that's
these
true.
other two people clean, cook, and work on doing the parties and activities that you have around the house. Okay.
That's true.
Okay. So now, personally, this seems like a lot. how do you feel like you have the strength and motivation to work in this kind of an environment for as your primary primary work?
With all these challenges that we face every day with our clients, um, in the beginning, from day one, since I start this business, the mission and vision that we're holding on. So putting that mission and vision, it's something that you'll be prepared also. It's not like what you're meeting and what you're trying to do with the individuals. But if at the end of the day, after you resolve some issue and help your residents with some challenges that they encounter with, well, I always call that a second paycheck, a second paycheck where you feel like, if I didn't do that for him, where is he now? You know, if I don't help him today, is he somewhere else where he's suffering? Or if I don't do this, if I don't help him today, he may be living there in a homeless camp and dealing with hot or cold weather. So that is where I'm getting from. Think about that. It's only like few minutes challenge that you deal with, but for the rest of your life, you can always claim that because of you, because of your skills and your compassion, that person is doing well and still living at your house.
Yeah,
So that's why you're there as to advocate them. They can't control it. It's their illness. So that's why you're there to support. God give them yourself. So, or you're there to please help these individuals because you have capable to do it. That's what I always see it every day.
yeah.
And it's really, even though it's challenging, but
Well, that is
fight for
that
it.
is that is really good, and that's inspirational what you do. So thank you for that. I do
Yeah.
want to. We just have a couple minutes left. I'd like you to share a few words about the service that you provide. So when you think of all of the different ways that people can live in the world, from being completely homeless to your average single family home, or how do you see your residents, where they fit in that social structure, and something to the viewers about how you are helping this segment, this part of society that really are kind of sheltered from the rest of us in our normal lives.
If you drive around San Jose, you see a lot of uh, homeless camp everywhere, and seeing them, and it's too cold outside or it's raining, you will think about why these people living here, and I have my own home, I have my own heater, and I can drink or use the bathroom anytime I want. You know, um, it hurts you, but at the same time, what else I can do to help these individuals, right? So, but if you're running a place like this, it's not about business. It's not about what you're making money for. It is the fact that if I don't have this business right now, where are these people now? Are they one of them there that I see a few minutes ago? You know, so, and compliment yourself, saying that I help a little bit, or I touch somebody else's life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that person may be living there now, or now because I have this kind of operation, kind of housing. They're here, living at the same house, getting food 3 meals a day, and they have a warm blanket at night. So that is something that I can see as part of the contribution that I can give to the city or and the whole humankind. It is it's a good thing. It feels good about it. Um, and I don't look at it as a business. It is something like I'm doing something every single day for these individuals.
That's
So
something
that's
that
what.
is that's something that has come through very clearly in all of our conversations, that
Yeah.
you don't really look on this as a business. You look on this as what you can do for people who have issues, that have problems, and you're doing your best to do something for them. As I said, it's very inspirational and very helpful
Yeah.
to all.
I would like to share one thing, Jim. When sometimes I get a phone call and I have somebody just drop by. Last video that we made, we talk about those individuals who are successfully live in the house and they
Yeah,
ended up uh, having their own place,
it's
like
great.
apartment or so. So they call us and say, Philip, you remember me? I lived there for 6 months. And then, oh yeah, I do remember you. And they're like, I'm calling you just to let you know that I want to thank you for helping me to become independent and helping me to be the best version of me. A quick phone call from somebody who just woke up in the morning,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And sometimes you might say, oh, you're welcome. That's very simple to say welcome, but sometimes you don't know what to say. You don't know how to respond to it. Like it hurt it touched your heart, and at the same time your heart closing there, like, oh, what should I say? What can I respond to that one? It's because you recognize something that what you did many years ago, and it will coming back to you. And this person, like, how did you know my number still after all these years, right? And then what do you came up with? Like, one day you call me and say that there's something good happening to that person, and because of that something happened good with that person, put yourself together. Hey, we did this together. It's not only you, it's not only me. We did it together, and
that's
I'm
right.
proud of you that you're
That's
there.
right.
So
Well,
that's why, like,
and
you
that
feel
is
like every day.
that really has got to feel good. That really is the thing that
It is.
makes it all worthwhile. So
It
I'm glad
is.
for what you've done, and thank you so much for talking to us about all the challenges and the benefits and all of the good things that it brings to you in your life. So thanks very much, Philip, and good luck with running King Philip Independent Living in the future. Appreciate your taking the time with us.
Thank you, Jim. Thanks for having me again.
Well, thank you, viewers. And again, this has been an episode of In Our Community, and I'm your host, Jim Ducey. Join us again for another episode, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.